YouTube, what up? Welcome back to another Pounds 978 custom video. And right now I want to talk to you guys about Venom. Inspired from the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 Venom, but not quite that Venom. It's not exact. I was just inspired from it. This is commissioned. Someone asked me if I could make this on this Build-A-Figure body. They had sent it to me and I said yes. I always wanted to make a big blue Venom. I made one on the movie Venom body, but it wasn't like this. This one's pretty cool because it has a lot of shading on it. You really can't see. It's hard, but trust me, there is shading above and below, and it's like 4 or 5 different colors, and I'll break it down to you later. But in the black background, it's a lot harder to tell, and the figure looks a lot lighter, like less saturated when it's in black. But in white, you can see the blues there, the blacks, the darks. But the darker blues, the lighter blues, they're all in there. What do you guys like better anyway, the black background or the white background? I tend to like the white background better, but I like black also because no one else does it, and it really is like super black in the back. So it's really hard to pop figures out sometimes. But anyway, let's keep it moving. Marvel vs. Capcom 2. So many things I wanted to do to this Venom that I didn't really get a chance to do. But again, it was inspired from that video game and the blue shades. Like, I tried my best to replicate as many blues as it had. I know in the game it's so much more vibrant, and I couldn't do that with this figure. Maybe I could have, but I couldn't get it as vibrant as the game. But the shades of blue are very similar. You see that on the bottom it's like a navy blue or darker blue. Even up top, like on that back shoulder area, I added some of that darker blue to kind of stand out with the rest of the figure, because the whole top side of the figure is a lighter blue. There is no navy blue on the top except for that back part. Or on the bottom on his butt, you can see his legs, there's darker blue. On his, under his arms, darker blue. But on his torso and upper chest, there is no dark blue. It's a lighter blue, actually. It's like a sky blue. The tongue isn't green. I should have painted the tongue, but I felt like it wasn't necessary at the time. But I don't know. Maybe I should have painted the tongue green. Let me know what you guys think. Should I have painted the tongue green? I think this looks cool. This reminds me of the one I made not long ago that I barely reviewed. I was supposed to make this guy into Venom the Madness. Never did. I don't think I will, even though I have all the pieces and parts painted. I have extra heads, extra arms. I just didn't put it together. But this could be a player 2 of the Venom Marvel vs. Capcom if you decided to want to use it for that. The green shade is not as dark as the game, but it still gets the point across. It's a green Venom. I like them. I like them both standing together. You can see the green one has no shade in comparison to the blue one that has variety. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you can see it on camera. I think I can. But I felt like doing that to this green one, taking it and adding dark green and light green to make it look like this blue one. But I didn't see the importance of that because the blue one isn't mine and the green one is. I'm going to try to adjust the lighting a bit so you can see the coloration between the blues on the figure, because again, with the lighting, it's really hard with the exposure of the white light. It kind of like throws away the fade. But in hand, I assure you, this figure looks amazing. For me anyway. I don't want to say, I hate to say amazing, but it does look nice. It looks nicely shaded, evenly shaded, I'd say. Because I used an airbrush, the navy blue may not be as dark as it naturally is, because with airbrushing, it takes layers and layers to get a darker, deeper color. And I airbrushed the navy blue about twice. The same with the lighter blue. But the navy blue looks more like cobalt in comparison to the royal blue and then the sky blue. And I'll show you a color pad that kind of influenced me and inspired me to use these colors, besides the reference picture from the Venom. But the hands have like deeper shades to it. The way I pictured it is like, how would it be if you step out in the sun? The brighter light would be above you and the darker light would be below you because the sun lights you up from above. You know what a pet peeve of mine is? When people say, oh, you do great repaints. That's true, but I also say I'd like to make customs because I can't just take this thing out of the box and just repaint it. It takes a lot of preparation. You got to sand the joints, cut away, add a lot of plastic, and make sure that there's room for more paint. And you'll see that here, you know, you can take this Build-A-Figure apart, and I painted as much as I could or what was necessary. I didn't paint inside the back of that plate because there's no need. This front side, there probably was no need for that either, but why not? If you're gonna pop that open, you don't want a black Build-A-Figure body, right? So I try to get as much blue in there as possible. This back plate, again, it wasn't necessary. because there's nothing gonna touch the inside of that back plate. But yeah, just the word repaints. Like I'd like to think I make customs. It's like if someone plays basketball and they're like, hey, he's a good dribbler, he's a good shooter. It's like, yo, he plays ball, he's pretty well rounded. Here's a better look at the color variation. Because I painted the figure with the arms in the sockets, you can see that it has that darker blue underneath, which is good anyway because I needed the darker blue to be underneath. So it worked out. You won't see that darker blue when it's popped inside right there, because that's what it's going to be stuck inside. But it looks good. I think it looks cool. Let me know what you guys think. And for me, this is important because what's the point of painting, taking all that time if you can't move the arms freely and pose the figure like you naturally would be able to straight out of the box? It's fun to play with toys, even if they're customs. It would be unfortunate to pay so much for a custom, or to pay anything for a custom you can't play with or touch, because a lot of customs are sticky and really nasty to touch. And I don't want to say that, but a few customs are. I assure you this is going to be pretty fun to play with. You can move it around at any position you normally would with any Marvel Legend, so feel free to move it. This was a really fun custom to make and pleasing to look at. And even though the word repaint is a pet peeve of mine, this is technically just a repaint because I didn't mod the face or anything. It's just a repaint. But I do like it, and maybe adding the green on the tongue would have popped it out more. So now looking at it in hindsight, I probably should have done that if I wanted it to make it look like Marvel vs. Capcom. But again, there were inspirations from Lethal Protective Venom. Lethal Protective Venom is a lot darker than the Marvel vs. Capcom Venom. You see, it has a lot darker blues and maybe even blacks in that. And I didn't want to use any blacks or too much of a navy blue, so we have this color palette, and I just tried to go with the best blues that I think resemble the video game reference. Here are the 50 shades of gray. No, I'm just kidding. Here are the 5 shades of blue I used, starting with the one in the center, and then the 2 on the left are the lighter ones up top, and the 2 on the right are the darker ones below. The red for the mouth, the gum line, and the tan for the teeth, the white for the eyes. The only thing you're not seeing is the black, but I did use black for the black lines in the logo. I had to fix those up. Pretty much Hasbro logo. Painted the entire figure blue, carefully painted over the logo, but I messed up a few times, so I had to use white to clean it up. Then I taped it up, added a little bit of shade. Hard to tell though, because the blues are very similar. The one on the left just has a lighter hue to it. But I added that up top first. It's not on the bottom, it's only up top. Then on the bottom I added a darker blue to bring out that lighter shade, but it wasn't enough, so then I added another lighter blue shade up top to stand it out. So it looks like a little sky blue. After that, peel the tape off, refix the logo, the whites, the blacks. You see the shading looks pretty cool. I thought it was nice. The teeth had a little blue in it from the airbrush, so I had to go back and fix the teeth and the gum lines, and that's the reason for that. But the logo is a Hasbro logo. Just had to clean it up as much as I could. And that's it. This is the custom. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section down below. Feel free to give me a thumbs up if you like this video, and subscribe for more content. Of course, if you don't like it, you know what to do. Kick rocks. Give me that thumbs down. Who cares? No, I do care. Why you don't give me a thumbs down? This is a cool ass custom.